If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joy Baird. Well, today we're going to dig up our potatoes. Now, this year is very different in the form of the way we planted our potatoes than in years past. In years past, we put them right in the ground, and usually it was a lot of work to chisel them out of the ground because we didn't have an irrigation system on them. This year, we've converted mostly to raised beds, and the bed in front of you is a pallet raised bed. It's made out of 3 pallets. We'll harvest the potatoes out of here, and then we'll harvest potatoes out of the 4x4 raised bed from Root Maker, and then some in our large raised beds. We've got Yukon Jim and blue potatoes, I think is what they are, that we planted. Now, the key sign to know when your time to harvest is potatoes will develop a flower. These flowers have fell off. That's an indication that the tubers have formed under the soil, and as the plants begin to die back, that's also an indication. This is crucial to know the duration of what your crop should be, whether it's 90 days, 110 days, or 135 days, or somewhere in the middle. So at 45 or 50 days, they start dying back, you know something is not right. So we're going to use a garden fork. It's a hard tine metal fork, not a hay fork. Shovel will work. However, this lets the soil fall through, and if you do stick a potato, it's not going to cut it in half. You're just going to partially damage it, and you can utilize that right away. Now with these, this raised bed here, we've got the irrigation system in, so I'm going to pull that out first, so we can freely dig in here without having any problem. Okay. So we can do a couple of different things. We can just go in and start digging, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the plant, and I'm just going to tear the plant out of the place and where it was growing, and whatever potatoes come with it, that's just what it is. And then I'll go in there with a fork. I want to kind of clean an area where these are compostable. However, if they have a disease on them, you would want to not compost them. We'll get these first 3 out of the way here, and then that's the seed potato you're going to find in this, the old rotten, mushy potato. That's what you planted. So there. So let's go in here and see what we've got. That's the seed potato. Well, that was disappointing there. I don't see anything there at all. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Here's one potato. I don't have anything there. Then there was a plant here. Let's dig and see what we come up with here. Oh, well, slid kind of cut into that one. Here's a okay one. I stabbed that, so we're not doing too bad, too good there. That's the seed potato, so that's no good. So, kind of disappointing here that we dug through 3 plants here, and this is the result of 3 plants. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of these plants up, then dig and see why or what the conclusion of this bed may be. So we now moved to this 4x4 raised bed from rootmaker.com. This was what we had gotten from the pallet bed. I think we had like 12 plants there or something. Much easier to dig. The results was not State Fair winning. So let's see what we've got here. These are the purple or the blue ones, however you want to describe them. Let's see. Now, these are on the small order as well. All of these have been on irrigation and have flowered about 2 weeks ago. So by us, if we was to leave these in longer, it really would not accomplish anything because the plant's already in its decline and it's not going to put on any more additional girth to the potatoes than what it has already done. Now I'll go through and dig through once we've pulled the plants out. Good root system on them. Purple ones are a little more difficult to see if you're going to go that route. And there's the seed potato there. So, all right, well, I'll dig through this and see what we end up with these. So the darker purple ones here, that's what just was dug up out of that bed you saw. And then there was a few, like this one here, there was a few white Yukon Jim potatoes that was there as well. Now all of these beds, this was all fresh soil this year, and we're kind of figuring out why they didn't do as well as we have or was expecting them to do. Before we get to that bed there, I do have this random volunteer potato here that we've left alone. And we're just going to dig it up and see what it is. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Don't know how it even got here, but we'll see if there's anything to it. There's a part of it. That's the actual seed potato there. Two little ones. Let's see when I dig this up. Of course, we've got tree roots here and everything else. That's why I've got this fork and not the good fork. Let's see for fun here, what do we got? Anything at all? You see how what the consistency of this soil is. That's in past, well, what we have dealt with. So that was it, those two little things. What we had dealt with in the regular ground garden. Then 2 years ago, we didn't harvest them in the appropriate time. They were about this stage, and we let them go because we kept getting rain, and over 90% of the potatoes that was in the ground was potatoes, but they were soupy, mushy, rotten potatoes because we waited too long. So you don't want to do that either. All right, so this bed here, we've got shallots on that side, we've got bush beans, and we've got pole beans in the back, and I threw in 10 or 12 potatoes, kind of what we had left over. So let's just see what the consistence on this bed is. And everything's been irrigated. We'll just put all of these potatoes on the ground there so we can see what we have. Lots and lots of worms here, so that's good. And then the potato plants we can just lay on the ground there. All right, so we'll do these two, and then we'll figure out what we've got and come back when we get done and tell you the final story here. Well, this was the result of the 10 or 12 plants that we had in this bed. So we've got to determine whether or not we want to move forward next year and grow potatoes or get them at the store for $3 for 10 pounds or whatever the case is. It is rewarding to grow them, but we was expecting with the fresh soil, the raised beds, that this tub would have been full, if not overflowing, and we certainly don't even, we barely have enough to cover the floor of the bed, of the bin here. These potatoes all came from Wood Prairie Farms. It's not a result of what they provide. It appears to be from years of potatoes not growing well here. It seems to be a problem of ours, not theirs. Wood Prairie Farms is a potato specialty farm out of Bridgewater, Maine. You can certainly look at them. They've been in business for about 44 years now. So we had Yukon Jims, we had the purple or all blue potatoes, and we're happy we got something. It was much easier to harvest this way than it has been in the traditional ground, but we have to reevaluate what is more practical planting all these potatoes as you've seen and harvesting them, or for example putting green beans in those areas and getting 10 or 12 pounds of green beans every week versus probably 15 pounds of potatoes here. Thanks for watching. As always, remember to rate, subscribe, and comment.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.